So first off, when a person tells you they have amnesia but remember some of the event, right? That's not a hallucination. That's called blacking out, right? Right. See, I remember going into the store. I remember meeting Michelle, if that was her name, right? Right. If I got those two parts right when I went into the orchid, her first name is Michelle. I didn't get to her second name, right? Okay, is there a Michelle who worked in the orchid in 2019? Right. There is. That's not hallucinating sex or not sex, right? I'm not saying I had sex or not. I'm saying I lost memory, right? At a certain juncture when she was doing my nails, and then I came to again, right? In the store again, right? And then she went back to doing my nails, and that happened at least 3 times, I think, right? And I think I lost 20 minutes each time, right? And that when I finally left the store, it was over an hour later, and she did my nails, right? And I don't remember fully what happened, but I went in after 2, but got out a little before 4. And that was almost 2 hours. And that hadn't happened in any salon but that one. And someone was acting like there was a 15-year-old girl involved, right? So all I can guess is what I might have done for someone to black me out in the store. And Michelle didn't tell me she was 15 but 37. But of course, if I'm suspicious of her, I have to ask her more about proof for her age, right? In the first place. If you're 37 and from New Jersey, you're going to have either a New Jersey or a Georgia driver's license ID. And all I can do is tell her where to get it, right, in Georgia, which is on Eisenhower Drive, right? Because you got to have ID to even work, right? Or you're working illegally, period. See, a 37-year-old without proper ID can't work in Georgia either, by the way, right? Uh-oh. That's what we're talking about here. What the hell's going on in that damn store, right? That's the only store I had a problem with that I went out to where something questionable happened, right? And you're making it all about sex, and I'm asking you, well, what, did we have sex? And you're saying, yeah, no, I don't know, right? Well, something happened, right? Someone was on about a 15-year-old working in the nail salon anyway, and I didn't know which one they meant, but starting to look like the orchid baby, right? I'm still guessing that's where they meant, right? Right. And I still asked the girl her age. I'm saying girl because I don't know if she was 15 or 37 now, right? But when I went into the store, I believe her at least initially she was at least 37, right? Now I would tell her she needs some kind of ID though to do the job, like a New Jersey ID or a Georgia driver's license or something, right? Right. She's supposed to have a driver's license at least at 37 too, right? Right. Because I assume she came from New Jersey and moved to Georgia and lives here now, right? Duh. And I don't know how recent that was, right? Either. I went in there for the first time. So you got 6 months or so, I think, a few months, to change your ID anyway from one state to another, right? Now, another problem is I had 2 state IDs, one in Virginia and one in Georgia, but the one in Virginia should have been canceled a long time ago. I ain't been a resident of Virginia since I was in the Navy, right? That shouldn't even be an issue. Now, someone's bitching about Florida and Georgia, but I ain't had an ID in Florida either. At all. That I know of, right? Only a Georgia ID, right? Now, if someone does have my ID in Georgia, they got it illegally, right? I don't know about that, right? There'll be no reason for me to check that either, Georgia, right? Right. I never been to Florida with a Florida ID, right? Mm-hmm. Only reason I went to Florida was Walt Disney World a few times growing up, and then recently with one time with my parents, and then with my son, and then right, told you about all that too, and then you bitched about it because we didn't take Jonathan, right. And the second time we went, we took Jonathan. Get over it. He wasn't here. He's in Arkansas, by the way, right? I guess. I mean, you tell me, I leave my ex-wife in Virginia, and she tells me she went home to Arkansas. I believe her. See, I went home to Georgia because I fell 3 stories while being discharged for a medical problem of hearing voices in 1993, where I didn't hear them before, right? I didn't really go around telling a lot of people God was talking to me, but even when I did, I went through the dream, right? See, listen to what God says. I will speak to him in a dream, right? Or through a dream. Or through the word of God, even, right? By the dream. See, Joseph had dreams too, right? And was an interpreter of dreams, as did Daniel, right? There's 2 guys in the Bible who had to deal with a dream unusually in their life at an early age, right? One of them was Joseph around 17, and the other was Daniel. So I got 2 men who had to deal with a weird dream they had. Mine will be at my bar mitzvah or ben mitzvah, by the way. It's a ben mitzvah if you're Hebrew, not a bar, unless you're going to a bar. It's a ben mitzvah, ain't it? Or are you Greek to you? Are you Greek to you? Bar-Sabbas is son of the father, right? Right. So in the Hebrew, it's Abba, father, right? Amma, mother, right? And again, though father and mother forsake me, then Yahuwah will take me up, right? La Yahuwah. Neither male nor female, right? A spirit ain't one or the other, right? Nor the first form of Adam, right? See, if both are in you and one's taken out of you, right, that means they were both in the same form, right? That's what is called true hermaphroditism, right? But only God can really separate the male from the female there and make them into 2 bodies, not us. See, that's a problem too, right? So if you're triple X, which is the angelic gene with the female gene, or XXY, which is again, right? That means, though the female side was with the male, wouldn't have the baby with him, right? Which is another way you can do that. I heard Aphrodite might have had sex with a few mortals, right? Or one of the goddesses, right? Well, see, if they're from heaven, they're also androgynous. And some can look more masculine and some can look more feminine, by the way, too. Now, if you have a child with a goddess from heaven, right, the child and a male could have a male child with 2 X chromosomes, right? And a Y and a Y. Instead of XY, right? And see, they're not telling you this medically because you got to look it up in a medical section dealing with hermaphroditism, which is considered by them an endocrine disorder. It's more than that. It's actually genes of a hermaphrodite versus genes of a male or female, right? So you got to be a hermaphrodite to produce that gene, right? And only the angels can be explained that way, not male or female, right? Once Adam were made 2, they were 2, by the way. That's not a wrong concept from Christianity either, but there was a problem with the angelic genes, right? See, they're hermaphrodites, right? They're not male or female, right? Even in the movies with Christopher Walken where he plays Gabriel, he's a hermaphrodite too, right? And the other angels as well. But you can't tell because one, either it works or it don't work. Takes a lot of lust to have sex if you're an angel, by the way, right? And why it's considered a sin to have sex with one idiot, right? It's not that they can't, right? It's that you're not supposed to, even if you can. It's another taboo, right? It's like any sexual taboo. You can do it, but you're not supposed to do it. But you got to be in a corporal form to do it. And for the angel, which is again based on a celestial form becoming terrestrial, you're an adult like Adam, where Eve was taken out of him, right? And then made two. And why? Wherefore, one into two, right? That he may seek a godly seed. Malachi answers that. Wherefore, one, right? That he may seek a godly seed, right? And that's when all the children Adam had pre-fall were probably like Enoch to God, and he brought them all into heaven, right? If you're wondering where they went, right? They didn't sin like Adam and Eve did, so he brought them all into heaven with him, right? Probably even tree of life, by the way, right? You don't know because you don't want to know. You don't ask to receive, right? Or you don't think you're worthy to know. That's another problem, right? John's saying worthiness, okay, is why the men won't look on the seven seals anyway, right? And it's the men, right? In heaven above, earth itself, or below the earth. Now, if men are below the earth, scientists, what does that mean, right? Are some inside the earth even? I don't know, right? You're talking about all these caverns. Some even say reptilian creatures might live down there with them, right? I don't know. But whatever it is, right? It would explain some things, right? And like I said, I can't prove any of this. It's theories, right? It's things you either believe religiously or not. And there is a God of gods, by the way. There is a maker of makers, right? And through him, everything was made that was made, right? So that's the problem, too. There is an ultimate ruler over the whole universe, and some consider that Jesus Christ, who is the King of Kings and Lord of Lords, right? As well. But again, right, the fallen rebel Satan is like an offspring or second born to Jesus in the celestial realm, right? So you got Jesus, then Satan, then Gabriel or Michael, I guess, I don't know, right? The exact hierarchy, right? But Satan's within the first three, you understand? And 2/3 fell with him, right? I mean, a third fell with him, right? When he fell. You get that from Revelations and, right, chapter 12. Chapter 12 talks about him taking a third of the stars of heaven when he fell. Well, a star is an angel, right? You get that in chapter 1, right? I might not have the Bible, but you think I love you. Just saying. A few things there. Have a good day.